Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you are watching this. Um, how was your week? Was it busy? George was a little busy. So he didn't really get much of a lull. And he just got that one, I think that he works 3 days a week. So he just got that one time that it wasn't busy at all. And then it hit back again. So, um, yeah, hopefully you didn't work too hard and hopefully you did something for yourself. Um, if you did something for yourself, then what did you do? Um, we kind of hung around, so not much. Got some stuff done around here. But yes, and it is March. I love March in a sense that has St. Patrick's Day. I love St. Patrick's Day. I love St. Patrick's Day like I do like Easter. It's one of my favorite holidays, like Easter and Halloween. So I always said maybe I was Irish in a past life. So yes. But March is also Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, as well as Kidney Cancer Awareness Month and Women's History Month. So yes. Or the old saying, what's the old saying? Behind every great man's even greater woman, right? Yeah. Anyways. But as I've said before, knowledge is power. So we're going to talk about colon cancer and then what it has to do with preventing and working through burnout. Okay? So just stick with me. All right. So colon cancer versus colorectal cancer, right? Or colon versus colorectal. So colon cancer is cancer of the colon, part of your large intestine. Rectal cancer is cancer of the rectum, which is the passageway that connects the colon to the anus. So that little area there. So together, they are colorectal cancer. So colon, you have it just in your colon. Rectal, you have it just in your rectal. If you have it both places, colorectal. So to cover both of those, colorectal cancer. So it's now Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month instead of colon. All right. So colon cancer is the fourth most common cancer in the U.S. and second leading cause of cancer deaths. Anyone can get it. Cancer is not biased. It doesn't care what color you are. It doesn't care what gender you are. Okay, depending on which cancer. I know women don't have pancreas anyway, but you know what I mean. Men can get breast cancer. See, told you it doesn't care what gender you are. It's not common, but they can. It doesn't care how rich you are, how poor you are. It doesn't care what your political beliefs are. It's not biased at all, right? So it's, yes. Cancer does not care, but anybody can get colon cancer. 30% diagnosed, or 30% of the diagnosis are found in people under 55. If you have a family history of it, you are at risk 2 to 3 times higher. If a relative is diagnosed at a young age, or there is more than one relative affected, your risk then increases to 3 to 6 times more than that of the general population. So I fall under the 3 to 6 because my mom, her father, and then his father, they both had colon cancer. Now, I had an aunt who had colon cancer, but she was married into the family, so she's not like a biological aunt, though I loved her as if she was my biological aunt, and she was like a sister to my mom on my dad's side, so yes. But I also found that interesting, though, enough that excuse me, my mom ended up with lung and brain cancer, and my uncle, actually, her brother, ended up with pancreatic cancer. So interesting enough, it really didn't fall. It didn't, even though my my grandfather and his father both had it. It's just interesting. It just didn't fall to my grandfather's kids. But anyways, but each day there are 56 cases of patients 46 and younger being diagnosed with colon cancer. It is now the leading cause cancer death in men and the second in women under 50. Since the mid-2000s, death rates have been increasing by 2.4% per year in people younger than 50. It's projected to be the #1 cancer killer for young adults by the year 2030. Guys, that's 4 years from now. 4 years. All right. Young adults often get diagnosed later because they're not usually screened and symptoms can be mistaken for other issues. Screening usually starts at 45, which is the recommended age. And here's my question. How many of you at 45 had started screening, right? Normally that's something you end up doing later, right? The 5-year survival rate is approximately 91% for stage 1 and stage 2. But it declines to 13% for stage 4, and only 1 in 3 cases are diagnosed at stage 1 and stage 2. The 5-year overall survival rate is 64%. Colon cancer, it starts as polyps and usually develops slowly for 10 to 15 years. Many people with colon cancer don't have any symptoms at first, which is why screening is important. So think about it. If you're not getting colonoscopies right now, think about someone that you've talked to that has. And think about like if they've ever said results. Like my dad recently went for a colonoscopy. He's like, oh, they found a couple of polyps. So what do? They remove the polyps and they test them to see if they're cancerous or not. And they weren't. They were fine. There was no cancer. But that's how they find out. So that's why screening is very important. I feel like, young people, they're talking about young people are getting diagnosed. More young people are being diagnosed. A lot of that, I feel, is because the recommended age to start getting colonoscopies is 45. When my doctor found out my family history, she said, we're starting you at 35. You need to make sure you have a doctor that's going to advocate for that, understand your family history, and they're going to advocate for you. So if you don't have a doctor that's advocating for you, go find another doctor, okay? Another reason I feel like young people are getting diagnosed, not only the screening age, but also it's the shit you eat. Our food is so processed here. Remember the statistic I said earlier about it's the #1 it's the 4th most common in the US. Notice I said US, not Europe, not Asia, the US. It's because our food is so processed here. I feel like it started a lot in the 80s. Granted, I feel like food's more processed now than it was in the 80s. It kind of started in the 80s. So if you're an 80s kid, remember like those cereals and everything, they started adding sugar to the cereals. Well, the whole point with doing that is to get you addicted to the cereals so you would buy more. I feel like they add more sugar to the cereals now than they did then. But the point being, cereal is not the only thing that's processed. Like all of our food's processed. They're adding antibiotics to the meats. They're doing, so make sure you're eating organic. But also too, and definitely go back and check out the other videos that I've done in the past. We talked about how to break it down, food, organic, the types of food, what to look for, how to be able to, include that into your schedule. Because I know sometimes, especially if you're working in emergency medicine, like I know it's challenging. I I've worked it. Sean's worked it. My friends have worked it. I've seen it. I mean, hell, sometimes like they don't even have time to eat. And yes, I know that's against labor laws, but that's just how it is. And, and the same goes for nurses and, as well, that work in emergency. But, and a lot of times, like, you're so busy, you just need something and get something in you to give you a little oomph to keep going, or to give you some energy to keep going. And so how do you combat that with processed foods? One, make sure you find snacks that work for you. Take those with you. So when you're not, so you're not eating shit. You're eating something good, but also keeping your body going. There are so many different things. I did the Sacred Science cookbook. Sacred Science cookbook actually there's like an energy, what they call like an energy bar in there type thing that helps. It's real, those are things that are good for you. Especially if your body can handle them. I say that, or your system can handle them. I know sometimes there's, different seeds and stuff, chia seeds and stuff that some people can't handle. But there are things out there that doesn't add the sugar. The sugar is what's going to get you, like, it's going to give you that high and it's going to send you crashing. So not only does it make you feel like shit at the end of the day, like, it's not good for your body either. So it's... you can make sure that it doesn't have sugar in it, but you can find other things or other sweetener alternatives, which I do talk about that too in one of the other videos. So go check it out if you hadn't already. But for different substitute for sweetener alternatives, you make your own. Take with you to make sure that you're eating what you're supposed to, and not eating stuff that's processed or make you feel bad. And the thing is what you go through, the stress causes burnout. But stress is also bad for you physically. Stress can cause your body a lot of physical harm. I literally got a kidney stone from stress. I was stressing so much, I had gotten a kidney stone. So yes, definitely make sure you're eating what you are supposed to, not processed foods, and it's allowing you to have the appropriate energy you need to work, and that you're not getting burned out. And it's also going to help you prevent you from burning out, because here's the thing: you get colon cancer, how are you going to work? You need to pay the medical bills. You need to pay the other bills. Maybe you have a family to take care of. You need to do that. And so this is a good way to help prevent it. Know the signs, or do the screenings, eat right, take care of yourself, and that'll also help the burnout. If you're already burned out, it will help you work through the burnout, and then it'll also help you. Okay? And, talk about young people. Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther, colon cancer, 43. He died at 43 of colon cancer. He was an amazing person, amazing actor. He's definitely one of those. He did a lot. Nobody knew. Like, nobody even knew he was sick until he died. Like, people kind of speculated because of the way he looked, but nobody really truly knew anything. People he worked with on set with, everything. No, they did not even know. I think he reminds me, he's just such a good person, and learning more about him, he's definitely one of those people. You know how they say don't meet your heroes or you'll be disappointed? Like, I think if you had met him, if he was one of your heroes and you met him, I think you'd be more inspired. Like, I don't think you'd be disappointed at all. Like, he is an amazing person. Then you have James Vanderbeek, who just passed at 48, colorectal cancer. Yes, I was a Dawson Creek fan. My mom and I watched it together all the time. Varsity Blues. And of course, for you Gen Xers, millennials, right on the cusp of Gen Xers and boomers, Christy Alley passed away, colon cancer, 71. So, yes, take care of yourself. So what can you do outside of me just preaching to you about your diet and everything? What can you do? There is an event, it's called Get Your Rear in Gear by the Colorectal Cancer Awareness. I put links in the description. Obviously, the normal links with NOMV and all that, but above that, I put the links for basically the information I just gave you. It gives a little bit more information, but similar information I gave you, so you can reference back if you want to, if you're more of a visual person versus an audio person. Also, too, I put the link in there for the Get Your Rear in Gear events that are coming up. So it goes straight to that. So if you can see if there's one near you. If there's not, maybe you can create one for next year. So something to think about. Get some people together to raise awareness for it. All right. So with that, if you need someone to talk to, you have Lifeboat, which is through NOMV, Not One More Vet, is the peer-to-peer. You can also, if you need someone to talk to immediately, you can either call or text 988 or text 741-741. Please, please, please put these numbers somewhere that you might not need it now, but if you may need it later. Or even too, sometimes just chatting with someone through Lifeboat, like a peer-to-peer, someone that's been through or going through what you're going through, because they'll pair you up with, like, if you're a vet tech in small animal medicine, they try to pair you up with a vet tech in small animal medicine. Like if you're a GP, emergency, like they try to pair you with someone that's very similar to what you're going through, to what you're doing, the job that you're doing. Like emergency medicine, they try to pair you up with someone in emergency medicine. So they try to do that. So it's very similar situations that you're dealing with together. So even like it's free. So sometimes just having that or doing that, like you can just go ahead and sign up for it, and it's there when you need it. So you have that too. So that's another thought as well. So yes. So Lifeboat with Not One More Vet. By the way, NOMV, that link is in the description as well. You have 988 and 741-741. All right. So inspired by Old Point. You may not know that the world needs you, but it does. For no one else can smile your smile, say your piece, or shine your light. You are unique, and you alone can fill your place. If you were not here to shine your light, what would happen to the pilgrims passing by your empty place in the darkness without your light to help them on their way? You may not know the world needs you, but it does. Remember, what you do matters, and the world is a better place with you in it. Dear Person's Company. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week. Go do something for yourself, all right? And we'll see you next week.